The Ancient Myths. In a far corner of the galaxy, where stars sparkled like diamonds against the dark canvas of space, the planet Lyra thrived with advanced alien civilizations. Among these beings, tales of a mysterious species called humans circulated like whispers in the wind. To most, humans were nothing but ancient myths, legends that had faded into the dust of time. Yet, one young alien historian named Zareen was determined to uncover the truth behind these stories. Zareen lived in the grand city of Valoria, where towering structures of glass and metal sparkled under the bright sun. She spent her days in the vast archives, surrounded by scrolls and artifacts from long-lost civilizations. Her passion was history, and she often dreamed of finding something remarkable. While others focused on the known and well-documented species, Zareen was captivated by the whispers of humans. One afternoon, as she rummaged through dusty scrolls, she stumbled upon an ancient manuscript. The script was faded, and the parchment was fragile, but Zareen's heart raced as she deciphered the words. The text spoke of a time when humans roamed the stars, showcasing their brilliance and creativity. They were described as resilient, passionate, and filled with an unyielding spirit that inspired even the toughest of species. Her curiosity deepened as she read about a great war that humans fought, not just for survival, but for freedom. They were depicted as brave warriors who overcame incredible odds, using their wits and intelligence to outsmart their enemies. Each sentence painted a vivid picture of a species that, despite its flaws, had a remarkable capacity for courage and hope. The more Zareen read, the more questions filled her mind. Were humans real? If so, what had happened to them? She felt a powerful urge to learn more, to dig deeper into the legends that had captivated her imagination. That night, she decided to visit the old ruins outside the city, a place said to hold remnants of human presence. As she arrived at the ruins, the moonlight bathed the crumbling stones in a soft glow. Zareen could feel a strange energy in the air, as if the stones themselves whispered secrets of the past. She began to explore, carefully stepping over fallen debris and cracked stone. It was in the heart of the ruins that she found something extraordinary, a peculiar artifact half buried in the ground. With her heart pounding, Zareen dug around the artifact, revealing a small, circular object made of an unknown metal. Its surface was engraved with intricate symbols and patterns that seemed to shimmer in the moonlight. She reached out to touch it, and a wave of warmth flowed through her fingers. Suddenly, the artifact sprang to life, projecting a hologram into the air. Zareen gasped in awe as the hologram flickered and revealed images of humans. She saw them working together, building great machines, and exploring vast landscapes. It was a breathtaking sight, one that seemed to transcend time. The images shifted to show humans standing tall against overwhelming odds, their faces determined and fierce. It was as if the legends had come alive before her eyes. As the hologram continued, Zareen felt a deep connection to these beings. They were not just myths. They were filled with emotions, dreams, and aspirations that resonated with her own. The stories she had read in the archives suddenly felt tangible, real, and alive. She realized that the human's journey was not just a part of ancient history. It was a reflection of resilience that could inspire her own people. But as the images faded, doubt crept into her mind. What if the stories were too incredible to be true? What if humans had never existed at all? Determined to find answers, Zareen carefully stored the artifact in her bag. She needed to share her discovery with others, to prove that humans were more than just a legend. The next day, Zareen gathered a few trusted friends and shared her findings. Her friend Kale, a skilled engineer, was intrigued but skeptical. Legends are just that. Stories meant to entertain, he argued. What makes you think this one is different? Because it's not just a story, Zareen replied, her eyes shining with excitement. I felt something when I touched the artifact. It's real. I need your help to investigate further. Despite Cal's hesitations, Zareen's passion was infectious. Together with their friends, they decided to form a small team to explore the possibility of humans existing in the galaxy. They knew it would be a difficult journey, filled with uncertainties and risks, but Zareen's conviction fueled their resolve. As they prepared for their expedition, felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She knew they would face challenges ahead, but she was driven by a desire to reveal the hidden truth about humans. Could it be possible that this long-lost civilization had left traces behind? Could they truly uncover the reality of the human legend? With determination in her heart, Zareen and her team set off on a quest that would take them across the galaxy, igniting a spark of hope in their hearts. The ancient myths of humans had awakened a sense of adventure within them, and they were ready to unravel the truth that lay hidden in the stars. Little did they know that their journey would not only change their understanding of humanity, but also shape the fate of their own civilization. The quest for truth. With the discovery of the mysterious artifact, Zareen and her team felt a surge of excitement and determination. The tales of humans that had long been dismissed as mere legends were now alive in their hearts and minds. Their journey to uncover the truth had begun, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The team consisted of Zareen, the passionate historian; Kale, the skilled engineer with a skeptical nature; Mira, a brave warrior known for her quick reflexes; and Thal, an intelligent and curious scientist. Each member brought unique skills to the group, and together they were united by a common goal: to discover the truth about humans. As they gathered their supplies, Zareen felt a flutter of anticipation. The team decided to visit the ruins of the ancient city of Ethar, a place said to hold more clues about humans. The city was located on a distant planet known for its harsh landscapes and treacherous storms, but the risks did not deter them. They believed that the answers they sought were worth the journey. After several days of travel aboard their sleek spacecraft, the crew finally arrived at Ethar. The atmosphere was thick with clouds, and the air crackled with energy. As they descended, Zareen felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. What if they didn't find anything? What if the legends turned out to be false? Once on the ground, the team set out to explore the ruins. Ancient structures towered above them, with crumbling walls and faded murals that told stories of the past. Zareen's heart raced as she imagined what life must have been like for the beings who once inhabited this place. Each step felt like a connection to history, and she hoped to uncover more about the humans. As they moved deeper into the ruins, the group came across a large chamber filled with strange artifacts. Some were mechanical devices, while others resembled tools. Cal examined a peculiar object that resembled a compass. "This could be a navigation tool," he suggested, intrigued. "Maybe it was used by humans to explore," Mira added, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "They must have been skilled navigators to travel through space." While Kale and Mira examined the artifacts, Thal focused on deciphering the strange markings on the walls. He pointed out that some symbols resembled those found on the artifact they had discovered earlier. "These markings might tell us something important about humans," he said, his voice filled with excitement. Zareen felt a rush of hope. If they could decipher these markings, it might lead them closer to understanding the legends of humanity. They set to work, cataloging the artifacts and taking notes on the markings. Hours passed as they immersed themselves in their research, each finding fueling their determination to continue. Suddenly, a loud rumble echoed through the chamber. The ground shook, and dust fell from the ceiling. The team exchanged worried glances. "What was that?" Mira asked, her eyes wide. "It must be a storm," Kale replied, glancing out of the crumbling walls. "We should find shelter until it passes." The team quickly gathered their things and made their way deeper into the ruins, seeking refuge from the storm. They found a small alcove that offered some protection. As they huddled together, the wind howled outside, and Zareen's mind raced with thoughts of the journey ahead. "Do you think we'll really find the truth about humans?" she asked, breaking the silence. "I believe we will," Thal replied confidently. "These ruins hold secrets, and we're just beginning to uncover them." "I hope so," Kale said, his skepticism fading as he felt the energy in the room. This place feels different. It feels alive. As they sat in the dim light, Zareen realized that they were not just searching for answers. They were building a bond. Each member of the team brought their strengths, and together they formed a unique family united by a common cause. When the storm finally subsided, they emerged from the alcove, dusting themselves off and shaking off the tension. The ruins sparkled in the sunlight, and Zareen felt a renewed sense of purpose. They resumed their exploration, determined to gather as much information as possible. As they continued their search, they stumbled upon an ancient library filled with scrolls and books, protected by a thick layer of dust. Zareen's heart soared. This could hold the key to understanding the human legend. They spent hours sifting through the texts, carefully translating the words and phrases that spoke of humanity's triumphs and trials. Suddenly, they came across a scroll that depicted a great cataclysm that humans faced, a time when their world was on the brink of destruction. Zareen read aloud, her voice filled with emotion. The humans stood together in their darkest hour. They fought against all odds to save their civilization. Their spirit and determination inspired those around them. Mira's eyes shone with admiration. They sound incredible. If only we could learn from them. Kale, usually reserved, nodded in agreement. Maybe they are not just a legend after all. Their story could teach us valuable lessons. Zareen smiled, feeling a sense of hope wash over her. They were beginning to understand that the human legend was not just about the past. It was about the spirit of resilience and courage that could still inspire future generations. As they prepared to leave Ythar, Zareen knew this was just the beginning. They had uncovered precious information, but many mysteries remained. She felt a burning desire to continue their quest, to seek out more evidence of humanity's existence. Together, they would venture into the unknown, driven by the belief that the truth about humans was worth every challenge they might face. With their spirits high and their hearts united, Zareen and her team set their sights on the stars, ready to uncover the hidden truths that lay beyond their reach. They were no longer just explorers. They were the guardians of a legend waiting to be revealed, a hidden clue. Zareen and her team returned to their spacecraft with a renewed sense of purpose. The ruins of Ythar had provided them with valuable clues about the humans, but they knew there was more to uncover. The scrolls and artifacts pointed to something greater, something that lay hidden deep within the galaxy. As the crew reviewed their findings, Kale began to analyze the holographic projections they had recorded from the ancient artifacts. The images showed humans in various stages of their history, building, exploring, and fighting. But one image caught Cal's eye. It was a star map. "Look at this," he said, calling the others over. "I think this might be a map to another location. If we can decode the coordinates, it could lead us to the next piece of the puzzle." The rest of the team gathered around, excitement building in the air. Zareen stared at the star map, her mind racing with possibilities. Could this map lead them to more evidence of humans, perhaps even to remnants of their civilization? "We need to follow it," Zareen said, her voice filled with determination. "This could be the breakthrough we've been waiting for." Kale nodded. "I can adjust our navigation system to follow these coordinates. It won't be an easy journey. There's a lot of uncharted space ahead." Mira smiled, her warrior instincts kicking in. "Nothing worth discovering is ever easy. We'll handle whatever comes our way." With the map decoded, the crew set course for a distant region of the galaxy known as the Void, an area that had long been avoided by travelers due to its strange energy disturbances and the rumors of ships disappearing without a trace. As they entered the Void, the atmosphere on the ship grew tense. The stars outside seemed to flicker, and strange energy waves caused the ship's systems to glitch occasionally. Zareen sat at the control panel, her hands gripping the console tightly. She had always been driven by curiosity, but now a sense of unease crept over her. "What do you think we'll find out here?" Thal asked, breaking the silence. "I don't know," Zareen admitted, But I have a feeling that whatever it is, it's important. The humans left these clues for a reason. Maybe they wanted someone to find them. Hours passed as they navigated through the void, and just when the tension felt unbearable, the ship's sensors picked up something unusual. "I'm detecting a structure up ahead," Kale announced. "It's massive. And old." Zareen's heart leaped. Could it be? As they approached the structure, it came into view. A colossal space station, long abandoned but still intact. Its dark, metallic surface gleamed faintly in the starlight, and it was unlike anything they had seen before. "This place looks ancient," Mira said, her voice barely a whisper. "Could this have been built by humans?" "It's possible," Thal replied, scanning the readings. "The architecture matches some of the designs we found in the ruins." Zareen felt a surge of excitement. This could be the key to unlocking the human mystery. Without hesitation, the team suited up and prepared to board the station. As they entered, the air was thick with silence, and the corridors stretched out in eerie stillness. The station seemed frozen in time. Strange symbols adorned the walls, and long-forgotten technology lay scattered across the floor. As they ventured deeper, Zareen's eyes caught something. A symbol that matched the markings on the artifact from Ethar. "This is it," she whispered. "We're on the right track." Following the symbols, the crew made their way to the heart of the station, where they found a large, sealed chamber. Kale worked to unlock the door, and after a few tense moments, it slid open with a hiss. Inside, they found a central console, still active despite the age of the station. Zareen stepped forward and activated the console, her hands trembling with anticipation. The room lit up with a holographic display, revealing a message written in an ancient human language. Zareen's eyes widened as the message translated into their own language. "To those who seek the truth, know this. Humanity's greatest legacy is not in the weapons we forge or the battles we fought. It is in our spirit, our creativity, and our unbreakable will to survive. You are not alone in this galaxy. Follow the path we have left for you, and you will find us." The message sent a chill through Zareen. Humans weren't just legends. They had left behind a trail, one that could lead to their whereabouts. But where? And why had they hidden themselves? As the hologram faded, Kale spoke up. "It sounds like they're still out there, somewhere." Mira nodded. But why would they hide? What were they protecting themselves from? Zareen's mind raced with questions, but one thing was clear. Their journey wasn't over. This was just the beginning. The humans had left them a path to follow, and Zareen was determined to see it through. With a renewed sense of purpose, the team prepared to leave the station. They had uncovered something extraordinary, but the mysteries of humanity still lingered in the shadows. Where would the next clue lead them? What truths remained hidden? As they boarded their ship, Zareen couldn't help but feel a deep connection to the humans. Their story wasn't just a tale of survival. It was a testament to the power of hope and resilience. And now, she and her team were part of that story. The stars awaited them, and with each new discovery, they would move closer to uncovering the hidden truth about the human legend. Echoes of the past. With the revelation from the ancient space station still fresh in their minds, Zareen and her team set their course for the next set of coordinates revealed by the holographic message. The anticipation was palpable. Each member felt a deep connection to the journey they were embarking on, and the air buzzed with excitement. They were determined to unravel the mysteries surrounding humanity. As the ship glided through the vastness of space, Zareen couldn't shake the feeling of urgency. The message they had discovered was more than just words. It was a call to action. What legacy had the humans left behind, and what dangers did they face that forced them into hiding? Days passed as they traveled through the galaxy, navigating treacherous asteroid fields and cosmic storms. Despite the challenges, the crew worked in harmony, sharing their insights and growing closer as they faced the unknown. Zareen often caught herself stealing glances at the star map, tracing the lines and imagining the stories of the humans who had come before them. When they finally arrived at the next location, they found themselves orbiting a lush green planet. It was a stark contrast to the barren landscapes they had encountered on Ethar and the Void. Zarin's heart raced with excitement. The planet seemed alive, vibrant with possibilities. "Looks promising," Kale said, his eyes sparkling with curiosity as he studied the readings on his console. "There are signs of ancient settlements here. We should explore." The team descended to the planet's surface, landing near the remnants of a once thriving city. Nature had reclaimed much of the area, but the ruins still stood tall, a testament to a civilization that had flourished long ago. Vines crept over stone structures, and wildflowers bloomed in cracks, giving the place an ethereal beauty. As they wandered through the ruins, Zarin's heart swelled with awe. This was a place where humans had lived, loved, and thrived. She could almost hear the echoes of laughter and voices of those who had walked these streets. The crew came across a massive archway adorned with intricate carvings that depicted scenes of human life, families, celebrations, and even battles. Zarin traced her fingers over the stone, feeling a deep connection to the people who had created it. "This is incredible," Mira said, her voice filled with reverence. "It's like stepping into their history." They explored further, discovering a series of chambers filled with more artifacts and murals. One mural caught Zarin's attention. It depicted a great council of humans coming together to face a looming threat. The expressions on their faces were a mixture of determination and fear, and Zarin felt a sense of kinship with them. "What do you think they were facing?" Thal wondered aloud, his brow furrowed in thought. Zarin took a moment to consider. "It looks like they were united against something they believed could destroy them. It's a reminder that even the strongest civilizations face challenges." As they continued their exploration, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the ruins. The door was partially ajar, revealing a dimly lit room. Inside, they found what appeared to be an ancient archive, shelves filled with scrolls and data crystals that had survived the ravages of time. "This is it," Kale exclaimed, his eyes wide with excitement. "We might find detailed accounts of their history here." They carefully sifted through the contents, and Zarin's heart raced as she began to decipher the texts. The scrolls spoke of a time of prosperity, but also of conflict, of a great war that threatened to consume humanity. As she read, Zarin realized that the humans had been warriors, scholars, and dreamers. They had fought valiantly to protect their world and each other. One scroll, in particular, drew her attention. It described an event known as the Great Exodus, where humans had made the difficult decision to leave their home planet to survive. They left in search of safety. Zarin read aloud. They believed in a future where they could thrive without fear. Mira clenched her fists, her eyes burning with passion. They didn't give up. They chose to fight for their survival. Zarin nodded, feeling a profound sense of admiration for the humans. Their spirit is a lesson for all of us. We can face our challenges too, just as they did. As they delved deeper into the archives, they uncovered maps that indicated potential locations where humans had settled after their exodus. Zarin's excitement grew. This was more than just history. It was a path forward. But amid the exhilaration, a shadow loomed over her heart. Why had the humans felt the need to leave? What threats had they faced that forced them into hiding? After gathering as much information as they could, the team decided to leave the ruins and head back to their ship. They needed to analyze their findings and determine their next steps. As they walked through the city, Zarin felt the weight of the past pressing down on her. The stories they had uncovered were powerful, but they also felt like a warning. The universe was vast and dangerous, and they had only scratched the surface of the human legacy. Once aboard their ship, the crew gathered around the central console. Kale began downloading the data they had collected while Zarin studied the star maps. "We have a direction to follow," she said, her voice steady. "We can trace the path of the Great Exodus." Thal nodded, enthusiasm shining in his eyes. "We might find remnants of their colonies. If we do, we could uncover even more about what happened to them." Mira crossed her arms, a determined look on her face. Let's not just uncover their story, let's honor it. We owe it to them. As Zareen set the course for the next destination, she felt a surge of determination. They were not just seeking the truth for themselves. They were honoring the legacy of humanity. With each step they took, they were closer to revealing the hidden truth behind the human legend. The stars stretched before them, a tapestry of possibilities. They were ready to embrace whatever awaited them, knowing that the echoes of the past would guide their way. The journey was far from over, and Zareen and her team were eager to uncover the next chapter in the incredible story of humans. Whispers of a new beginning. The ship glided silently through the expanse of space, navigating toward the coordinates marked by the remnants of the Great Exodus. Zareen and her crew were eager to uncover what lay ahead. They were not merely traveling through the stars. They were pursuing the spirit of humanity, ignited by the revelations from the ancient ruins. As they approached the next destination, a planet loomed large on the view screen. It was smaller than the lush green planet they had explored before, but held a rugged beauty of its own. Jagged mountains reached toward the sky, surrounded by swirling mists. Zareen felt a sense of awe wash over her. It was as if this planet had secrets waiting to be uncovered. "This is it," Kale announced, his voice filled with excitement. The reading suggests there are remnants of human structures on the surface. With a collective sense of purpose, the team descended to the planet's surface, their hearts racing at the prospect of uncovering more about humanity's legacy. As the landing gear touched down, Zareen felt a mix of anticipation and trepidation. What stories would they find here? Stepping out of the ship, they were greeted by a cool breeze that rustled the leaves of trees surrounding their landing site. The air felt thick with mystery, and every sound echoed in the stillness. They set out, following the readings on Cal's scanner that indicated structures not too far from their location. As they trekked through the dense forest, the atmosphere changed. The beauty of nature enveloped them, but an underlying sense of sadness hung in the air, as if the land itself mourned the absence of its once great inhabitants. Zareen's heart ached for the humans who had walked here, who had built something beautiful only to leave it behind. After walking for what felt like hours, they finally emerged into a clearing. Before them lay the ruins of a village, its buildings worn but still standing. Vines draped over crumbling walls, and wildflowers bloomed in vibrant colors among the debris. Zareen could almost envision families gathering here, children laughing and playing as the sun shone down. "This place feels alive," Mira whispered, her eyes scanning the scene. "It's as if their spirit is still here." Zareen nodded, feeling the energy of the site. They began to explore the village, marveling at the remnants of homes, marketplaces, and communal areas. Each structure told a story, and Zareen felt a connection with the people who had lived here. She imagined their daily lives, their struggles, and their joys. As they wandered, Kale pointed toward a larger structure at the village's center. "That looks like a town hall or some kind of gathering place. Let's check it out." They approached the building, its facade adorned with intricate carvings, much like the ruins they had seen before. Inside, they found a large chamber that once served as a meeting place for the community. The walls were covered in murals depicting scenes of cooperation, unity, and celebration. Zareen's breath caught in her throat. This was more than just a gathering place. It was a testament to the spirit of humanity. These people had worked together to create a safe haven, a place where they could thrive. "Look at this," Thal said, pointing to a mural that showed a group of humans working together to build a ship. They were preparing for something. They knew they had to leave. The realization sent a chill down Zareen's spine. The urgency of the great exodus had been born from fear, but also from hope. These people had not simply abandoned their home. They had sought a new beginning, a chance to survive. As they continued to explore the chamber, they found a series of scrolls and data crystals tucked away in a corner, untouched by time. Zareen felt her heart race. This was another opportunity to learn about the humans and their journey. She quickly began to sort through the items, excitedly calling the others over. "Look, we might have more records of their history," Zareen exclaimed, holding up a scroll that was remarkably well preserved. Kale took the scroll and carefully unrolled it. The text described a pivotal moment in human history, one that spoke of the community's decision to leave their home. They had faced a terrible threat that loomed over them, and the only way to protect their future was to unite and seek safety among the stars. "We leave behind our past, but we carry our spirit with us." Kale read aloud, his voice steady. This was their promise to each other. They believed in the strength of their unity. Mira's eyes shone with tears. They didn't just abandon their world. They believed in a new hope. They were fighting for their survival. As they delved deeper into the scrolls, the crew learned of the sacrifices made during the Great Exodus. Families had been torn apart, but they had done so with the understanding that they would do whatever it took to preserve the future of their kind. Zareen felt a wave of emotion wash over her. The humans had faced unimaginable challenges, yet they had persevered. Their resilience became a source of inspiration for her and her crew. "Every story we uncover strengthens our resolve," Thal said, breaking the silence. "We owe it to them to continue this journey." With renewed determination, the team gathered the scrolls and data crystals, eager to preserve the knowledge and share it with their people. They were no longer just explorers. They were custodians of humanity's legacy. As they left the village and made their way back to the ship, Zareen reflected on the journey so far. Each step they took brought them closer to understanding the truth behind the human legend. But questions still lingered in her mind. What had ultimately become of humanity? Why had they vanished from the galaxy? As the ship lifted off from the planet, Zareen felt a deep connection to the world they were leaving behind. It was a place filled with memories, stories of courage, and the enduring spirit of humanity. They had found more than just ruins. They had discovered a sense of purpose. With a course set for the next coordinates, Zareen looked out at the stars. Each twinkle felt like a reminder that they were not alone in the universe. Humanity's spirit lived on, and it was their duty to reveal the hidden truth to the galaxy. The whispers of a new beginning echoed in her heart, guiding them toward the next chapter of their journey, the awakening of truth. The stars twinkled like distant memories as Zareen and her crew traveled deeper into the cosmos. Their hearts were filled with purpose as they prepared to unveil the next chapter in humanity's forgotten legacy. With the scrolls and data crystals safely secured, they felt the weight of their discovery pressing upon them. The pieces of the puzzle were beginning to fall into place, but many questions remained unanswered. After several days of travel, they arrived at their next destination, a barren moon orbiting a gas giant. Cal's readings indicated signs of human activity in the area, which intrigued the crew. Why would humans choose such a desolate place? Zareen's mind raced with possibilities. As they descended to the moon's surface, the landscape unfolded before them. Craggy rocks and swirling dust danced in the thin atmosphere. The stark beauty of the moon was eerie and captivating, a reminder of how harsh and unforgiving the universe could be. Zareen steeled herself for what lay ahead. The landing site was a flat expanse, offering little cover from the elements. As they disembarked, the crew activated their scanners to search for signs of human habitation. Zareen led the way, feeling the weight of the past pressing on her shoulders. According to the data, there should be a research facility nearby, Kale informed them, scanning the horizon for any sign of structures. It was established as a last resort, a place to study the cosmos and gather information for future generations. With a shared sense of urgency, the crew pressed forward, navigating through the rugged terrain. After what felt like hours, they spotted a series of domed structures peeking through the dust clouds. Zareen's heart raced. This could be the key to understanding humanity's fate. As they approached the facility, Zareen's excitement turned to trepidation. The buildings were battered and worn, but remnants of technology still glimmered in the sunlight. It was clear that this place had seen better days. The crew entered the main dome, where the faint glow of emergency lights flickered, casting eerie shadows across the walls. Inside, the air was stale and heavy with silence. They found themselves in a vast chamber filled with equipment and monitors, many of which lay dormant. Zareen felt an overwhelming sense of loss. This place had once been alive with activity, a hub of knowledge and exploration. "Look over here," Mira called, pointing to a series of consoles that still held some power. "We might be able to access the data." Zareen hurried over, her heart pounding with hope. Kale and Mira worked diligently, tapping into the ancient technology, trying to revive the systems. As they worked, Zareen noticed something strange, a series of murals adorning the walls. They depicted scenes of scientists and explorers, working tirelessly to unlock the mysteries of the universe. One mural, in particular, captured her attention. It illustrated a gathering of humans, united in purpose, as they prepared to launch a fleet of ships. Zareen felt a surge of determination. This was a testament to humanity's spirit, their desire to understand and explore the cosmos. "Got it," Kale exclaimed, his voice echoing through the chamber. The monitors flickered to life, displaying streams of data and images. Zareen gathered around, her breath caught in her throat as they began to sift through the information. As the crew delved deeper, they unearthed a wealth of knowledge. The research facility had been a place of refuge and study, established to protect humanity's legacy. The data revealed details about the Great Exodus, how humanity had sought to escape impending doom by sending ships to distant stars, hoping to find new homes. "Here it is," Mira shouted, pointing to a specific entry. They discovered something unimaginable, an ancient force that threatened to annihilate their existence. Zareen's heart raced as she read the entry. It described a powerful enemy that sought to conquer worlds, extinguishing civilizations. In a desperate attempt to save their kind, humans had sacrificed everything to gather their knowledge and set out into the unknown. "This is why they left," Thal said, his voice heavy with realization. They knew the danger was coming, and they did everything they could to survive. As they continued to explore the archives, Zareen felt a swell of emotions. They learned about the final broadcasts sent by humanity before they vanished into the void. These messages were filled with hope, determination, and a plea for understanding from the stars. Zareen felt a lump in her throat as she read the words of the last message. "We are not gone. We carry the light of our ancestors within us. We hope to return one day." "We have to share this," Zareen said, her voice resolute. "The galaxy needs to know the truth." Humanity was not just a legend. They were survivors, innovators, and dreamers. With a sense of urgency, the crew began gathering the data and images, determined to preserve the legacy of humanity. As they worked, Zareen felt a sense of empowerment wash over her. The whispers of the past were growing louder, urging her forward. Just then, a loud crack echoed through the facility, startling the crew. The ground shook beneath their feet as dust and debris fell from the ceiling. Zareen exchanged worried glances with her team. "Is the facility stable?" Kale asked, his voice tense. "I'm not sure," Mira replied, eyes wide with fear. "We need to get out of here." Without hesitation, Zareen led the crew toward the exit, their hearts racing as they navigated through the chaos. As they emerged into the light, they could see the moon's surface shifting ominously. The crew scrambled back to their ship, urgency fueling their every step. Once aboard, Zareen initiated the launch sequence, her hands steady despite the turmoil. As the ship lifted off the moon's surface, Zareen looked back at the crumbling facility, a place that held the truths of a forgotten civilization. They had unearthed secrets that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of humanity. "We did it," she breathed, relief flooding her as they ascended into the starry expanse. But this is only the beginning. As they soared through the cosmos, Zareen knew they would share their discoveries with the galaxy. Humanity's legacy would not be forgotten. It would rise from the ashes, stronger than ever, a testament to the resilience of those who had come before. With a renewed sense of purpose, They set their course for the next destination, ready to continue the journey of unveiling the hidden truths of the human legend. The galaxy was waiting, and they were prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The legacy of humanity. The stars glimmered brightly as Zareen and her crew traveled through the vastness of space. With each passing moment, the excitement of their discoveries and the knowledge they had gathered filled the ship with a palpable energy. They had uncovered the truth about humanity's past, and now they were determined to share that legacy with the galaxy. As they set their course for the Galactic Council, Zareen gathered the crew in the main cabin. Each member's face reflected a mixture of hope and apprehension. The importance of their mission weighed heavily on her, but she knew they had to forge ahead. "We have something incredible to share," Zareen began, her voice steady and filled with conviction. Humanity was not just a legend. They were pioneers who faced unimaginable challenges. They left behind a legacy of hope and resilience. Now we have the chance to bring their story to light. The crew nodded in agreement, their determination solidified. Kale, the ship's engineer, stepped forward. "We have all the data and recordings ready for presentation. The council will need to see everything we've uncovered." Mira, the ship's navigator, added, "But we must be prepared for their reaction. The council may not accept this truth easily. They might be skeptical or even dismissive." Serene understood the gravity of Mira's words. The Galactic Council had a reputation for being wary of any claims that challenged the status quo. However, she believed that the evidence they had gathered was too powerful to ignore. Humanity's story was one of survival, and it needed to be told. As they approached the Council's headquarters, a magnificent structure floating amidst the stars, Zareen felt a mix of excitement and nerves. The building was a marvel of engineering, with shimmering walls that reflected the light of the nearby sun. It was a place where decisions that shaped the galaxy were made. Once inside, they were escorted to a grand chamber where the council members awaited them. The room was filled with representatives from various species, each displaying unique traits and cultures. Zareen took a deep breath, her heart racing, as she prepared to present their findings. "Esteemed council members," Zareen began, her voice echoing in the vast chamber, "we stand before you to reveal a truth that has been hidden for far too long. The legend of humanity is more than just a story. It is a testament to resilience, innovation, and unity in the face of adversity." She gestured to Kale, who activated the display screens around the room. Images and data from the ancient research facility flooded the walls, showcasing the murals, the last broadcasts, and the remarkable achievements of humanity. As the visuals captured the attention of the council, Zareen continued, sharing the journey of discovery they had undertaken. "The data we have gathered shows that humanity faced a grave threat that forced them to flee their home," Zareen explained passionately. "They sought to protect their legacy, to survive, and to explore the cosmos. Their spirit lives on in their messages of hope and determination." As Zareen spoke, she noticed the council members exchanging glances. Some appeared intrigued, while others seemed skeptical. She pressed on, feeling the surge of determination. "We have the last recordings of humanity's final messages," she said. "Their words carry the weight of their struggles, their dreams, and their commitment to one another. We must honor their legacy and ensure that their story is not forgotten." With a nod from Kale, the recordings began to play. The room filled with the voices of humanity. Expressions of hope, fear, and love. The council members listened intently, their expressions shifting from skepticism to contemplation. When the recordings concluded, an older council member, a wise-looking being with shimmering scales, stood to speak. "Your presentation has provided us with much to consider. If what you say is true, then humanity's journey is far more complex than we ever imagined." Another council member, a towering figure with deep-set eyes, frowned. "But how can we be sure of this information? The legends have persisted for millennia, but proof is required for us to take action." Serene felt a wave of frustration, but remained composed. "We have evidence from the research facility, Counselor. The data we presented comes from a place of humanity's final efforts to preserve their knowledge. We invite you to investigate further. The council members exchanged hushed whispers, weighing the gravity of Zarene's words. Finally, the older council member spoke again. We will conduct an investigation into your claims. If what you say is true, it could change everything we know about humanity. Zarene felt a rush of hope. Thank you, Counselor. We only wish to shed light on the truth. Humanity's legacy can inspire us all.